You're live.
This is the human heart. Central to our physical body, our survival, revered by poets throughout history as the emotional center of our being. The place we instinctively touch when asked to point to ourselves. And now, what we have known intuitively is being understood scientifically. Researchers are unlocking a new science of the heart that could change everything we know about health and our interconnected nature. Coherence is a state of balance between heart, mind, and emotions, creating a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. But this phenomenon not only benefits us personally, it affects everything around us, emitting an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 3 feet outside of the body. When you are in coherence, your heart resonates at the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. This frequency positively affects everything around you. When a group of people are in coherence together, this effect is magnified. Could communities synchronized in coherence lower violence, accelerate cooperation, and global harmony? This is the purpose of the Global Coherence Pulse. If we can measure the impact of thousands of people in coherence at the same time, it could lead to a breakthrough in understanding the full potential of the human heart. All you need to participate is your presence and your heart. To take it to the next level, join the research study by downloading the app and getting an HRV monitor to measure your personal coherence. The world needs it more than ever before. Each human heart is unique and magnificent by itself. But imagine what could be possible when we unify.
Welcome, everyone, to the Global Coherence Pulse. This is a special series that we've been offering every day during World Unity Week, participating with bringing this pulse into this collective initiation of 99 days of peace through unity and a real sense of coming home together. I hope that these pulse sessions have been a place in your day where you can really feel the connection and the grace of coming home together as a community. So thank you for coming and adding your heart today to day 7. And the foundation of life that we're honoring today with our presence and our love is biodiversity. And we begin every pulse session with a global silent minute. Dot.
Thank you, Teresa. It is a joy to dedicate this Global Silent Minute to biodiversity. Biodiversity is the link that connects everything. And the key is our relationship with habitats. Habitat diversity is critical to species diversity, and biocultural traditions are based on habitat. Silent and listen are an anagram made up of the same letters. So let us listen in the silence today to the voice of biodiversity. Today, we gently ask the question, how will we restore and regenerate living in right relationship with our foundation of life, biodiversity? The nature elder affiliated with the Global Silent Minute is Mount Kailash in Tibet. Mount Kailash is known as the Mountain of the Bell. The bell rings to enter the silent minute as we connect with our nature elder, Mount Kailash, resonating to the bell ringing in our own heart. During World Unity Week, as we come home together and embark on a 99-day journey of peace through unity towards a thriving world for all of life, we dedicate the Global Silent Minute to the foundations of life. The power of silence is greater than we know. It is in silence that we experience unity. We presence in the one heart and experience the resonance of silence as action in sacred unity on behalf of biodiversity. So let us prepare to enter the silence. With a deep breath, we activate the spirit of peace in our own hearts. And we unite our fiery hearts across distance. And now we invite all those on the other side of the veil to join us. When you hear the Tibetan singing bowl, we have entered 1 minute of silence as action in sacred peace through unity for biodiversity.
Wow. Dot and Julie, will you bring yourselves on the spotlight? I'm always so blown away by how much I love all of life that we share here. Yeah. Thank you. That was beautiful, Gary. That was so beautiful. So just some opening comments from our group here. I know Dot and Julie have been in the current of this conversation today in a powerful way. So really like to turn it over to you, both of you.
So that just really touched my heart. And Gary, thank you for the music you've provided all week through this Coherence Pulse. And we were just saying in the preparation time, I mean, we really love one another, and this production team that has really gentled this powerfully into the community field. And with that, it takes me back to the plenary this morning on biodiversity when Susan Eyrich said, we need to fall in love with other life forms. We need to fall in love with other life forms. I just fell in love with all those animals. And the beauty of the habitats that they are in. And she said, we disconnect when it's too abstract. So let's really be authentic and pay attention and realize our connectedness. Let's not live in the illusion of separation. And it has just been such a joy all week, and we're not even done yet, to put forth the Coherence Pulse and swim in this field with everyone.
That was beautiful, Dot. Yeah, let's fall in love. And if we're not already in love, right, we have the opportunity. And I just want to drop in a few pieces from this morning that were just exquisite. That and Dot, maybe you could talk about well, I can mention it. Habitat diversity supports species diversity. But we're talking about biodiversity. We're also looking at our own biodiversity, who we are and how we fit into cultural diversity and what our gifts, our unique gifts, unique expressions. So we're going to muse into that today with the pulse and bring in this word that dropped in this morning. I just want to presence it. I hope you heard it, Teresa. Dot, I think you had to get off early, and I love this. I'm going to bring this into our meditation today. Biodivinity. Isn't that beautiful? Our biodivinity. So we're going to bring that into our meditation too this morning, and I'm just ready for today. It's just such an exquisite day of honoring and celebrating our biodiversity.
And Gary, of course, we're going to hear from you, Gary, and I have something to say too. So
Great.
we got to hear from all of us. Right?
Wonderful. When I had the great privilege to write the music for the Awakening the Dreamer Symposium, which is now in 30 countries and 80 million people have seen the 4-hour symposium that is really about finding solutions rather than being a part of the problem. This cue that I wrote really stood out over all the cues, and there were about 100 cues over a 4-hour period. And because every time I wrote the music every time I was asked to write this cue, I couldn't do it without tearing up. And I'm thinking about, this beautiful thing that who you said that we must fall in love with these other creatures, right? Well, that grief is the price of love, right? In other words, feeling what I felt when I was writing this music was I wanted to create music that would make me cry every time so that I would feel in love with these creatures and not just be aware in my mind, but have my heart recognize, wait a minute, we're talking about extinction, talking about disappearing forever. It's hard for us to wrap our heads around that. when you think about the millions of years of evolution that led to the incredible brilliance and miracle of these creatures, that we have actually have evidence of the microcosm of the destruction of the extinction of these animals, it's hard to wrap your head around the price of that kind of love and to feel that depth of grief. But the courage to feel the grief is right next door to the courage for us to be empowered to do something about it. So what a privilege to allow music to inspire us to feel fully what this really means at this moment in history. And that was what I hoped we would achieve in that share. So thank you for the privilege of being able to share that.
That was beautiful, Gary. And wow. Julie invited us or told us about her morning ritual this morning, which was to go and look at the endangered species on Zoom. And then she added the plants. And I really want to encourage today sometime that you do that and that you just scroll through. And these are all the ones that need our support right now and our blessing and our presence and our love. It was really powerful. And I wrote this morning when I was on the fireside chat. There was a line in one of Gary's transformances where it said, experience the peace and unity that exists in the heart of our diversity. We can say our biodivinity. And when we touch into this, when we open our hearts to the web of life from the inside out, we instantly come into presence with the symphony of life that it's singing itself into existence through all of us. And then our primary task then becomes to tune our unique note and to come into resonance with the biodiversity inside and out, in your bioregion, in your home, in your garden. So I'm excited for today. And Julie Krull is going to guide us in our meditation and our pulsing today. And I'm so excited to hand us over into Julie's loving arms for this pulse today.
Thank you. Everyone pray. I got this tickle in my throat, which is odd. It was very rare. So I'm clearing that out. That's just, I will not cough. Thank you for that. And I just want to give us a little instruction so you know what's going to happen for the next 15 to 16 to 17 minutes for us. We are going to start, leave Gary on for a moment. We're going to start with a beautiful video. But my words, my voice is going to be over it. So I'm going to invite you, if you feel it, I wanted a video like we opened out of the Global Silent Minute. So we were seeing species and vegetation and what have you. And this video is beautiful. It's not rich with hundreds of species and different diversity, but it's beautiful. So if you feel you want to tune into that video and listen to my words, it might not all sync up, but it's going to be an experience to keep you in the rich texture of lifing. And if you feel that you want to close your eyes gently and just listen to the music and the voice, that's fine too. And then after, we're going to just gently come out of that, and I'm just going to remind us to stay in this place, and we're going to watch a second video called Gratitude. I'm going to let Gary explain a little bit more, but Gary literally surprised me a year ago. I think it was the first year, perhaps, that you did the rest and resonance for the 7 days of rest. And Gary mentioned the video Gratitude by Brother David Stendal Ross, and I went, what? I have literally shared this video hundreds of times. I'm going to let Gary just say a little bit about it, but we're going to leave our meditation and then just really take in this gratitude, gratefulness video. and then we will pulse that out. Gary, do you want to introduce the second video now?
Well, first, thank you, Julie. What a surprise when I heard you were going to share these works that I've created with wonderful people. The first video, I just want to acknowledge a shout out to the cinematographer, davidfortney.com, Fortney. He's the creator of the first season of Gaia TV's Islands of Inner Peace that I created. It's available on Gaia. And thank you to David for his magnificent work. The second piece was thanks to Lynn Twist, who introduced me to Brother David Steindl Rast. And if any of you have a chance to look at my Living Library talk a few days ago, I used the genre of alchemical wisdom that we developed to capture the heart and soul of a speaker and set it to music. And we did that with Brother David. And then Louis Schwartzberg set them to the famed creator of Fantastic Fungi, the film. The cinematographer set this to images. So it's been seen by 40 million people, and many people say that they play it right at the beginning of every day. And I just want to just acknowledge really the godfather of the gratefulness movement, Brother David Steindl Rast. This simple, beautiful acknowledgement of appreciating the simple things in life as a way to live your life. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, so with that, we'll move into our daily pulse with this first meditation. Take a beautiful, nourishing breath and relax into your inherent unity. Breathe peace through unity. Breathe peace. Unity in diversity. As we celebrate our biodiversity, the rich and vast tapestry of life, breathe your bio-divinity. Know that your bio, your unique life experience, your unique expression is purposefully and perfectly created and celebrated. Know you are loved. Find peace in your belonging. Imagine the infinite forms of life in all the beauty and diversity. Live in harmony. Live in right relationship. Belong. We all belong. Sense into the perfect unity in diversity, the harmony. Beloved child of life, magnificent and sacred child of creation, embrace your place. Be fully you, honoring all life. Dream your dream. Beloved brothers and sisters, be the light that you are. Find your compassion. Express your gratitude. As we celebrate our biodiversity, the rich and vast tapestry of life, breathe your biodivinity. Imagine all two-leggeds, those you know and those you don't know, those you understand and those you don't understand. Pulse out love. Imagine all four-leggeds. Imagine all those endangered, the rare and the fragile, the strong and the dominant, the purposeful, the useful, the emergent. Hold them in love. Imagine the winged ones, the large, the small, the elegant, the awkward, those following a sacred migration, those nested, those hatching. Embrace them in love. Imagine the swimmers, those deep within the dark shadows, those breaching and cresting into the light with majestic wonder. The colorful, the dull, the slimy, the scaly, the sleek. Send them your love. Imagine the plants, the trees, the networks below the ground. Again, the fragile and the strong, the invasive, the aggressive, the green, the brown, the colorful, the edibles, the medicines, the ripe, the budding, the seeds. Imagine the habitats, the bioregions, the tropical, the desert, the prairies, the coastal, the mountains, the lakes, the cold, the hot, the dry, the wet. Habitat diversity supports species diversity. As we celebrate our biodiversity, the rich and vast tapestry of life, breathe your biodivinity. And staying in this place, feeling that love, we'll just immediately go to the gratefulness video.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now, and the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response through the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather, and even of the weather we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, has unique weather, maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that is right now. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. A story that you could never fully fathom. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. We all go back so far. And in this present moment, on this day, all the people you meet, all that life from generations and from so many places all over the world flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. You turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. So these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts to which we can open your heart. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you, that everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you. Just by your eyes, by your smile, by your touch, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
I'm going to invite you to gently turn on your cameras. And if you choose to hit gallery view and bless us all with the eyes and the smile from that beautiful video. And we're just going to pulse out this love, this celebration of our biodiversity, celebration of life, lifing our living universe that's so rich and vast and diverse. Pulsing out, oh, my hands are on fire. The love, the magnificence, the beauty, the gratefulness, the gratitude. Wow. Wow, let's pulse that out through peace, through unity, and the coming 93 days, 92 days. Here we are. I don't know if you could feel that, but whoa, that's not technology, that's us. Whoa. And then scoop that up and let's all take a dose of that for ourselves and bring that in. And breathe that in. Our biodiversity, our biodivinity. Wow. And with another silent moment, I'll invite Teresa back in to turn this over to Teresa as we, wow, really continue this celebration of our biodiversity.
I'm staying on gallery view, Julie. That was the perfect move to just move us into, like, look at how beautiful we are. All of us so beautiful, and everybody different. Every single one of us needed. When you said, Julie, about finding your place, you know, each of us, it's time that we are the love that we were born to be, and like have that love walk the planet. And now's the time. And it takes all of us, and every single one of us is needed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, because life knows exactly what it's doing. I think I'm going to stay on gallery view. And if there's somebody from the group, many of you I've seen here every day pulsing the field with us. And if you want to share something, we don't have something right after that. We have to end right at like 10 minutes before. We have a few minutes. So I want to invite Dodd and Gary, but I also want to invite a few other voices from the diversity of our unity to share something around the meditation today. Julie and Gary, or the pulses over the week and what this has meant to you to be involved in that. Anything you'd like to share. So raise your hand if you'd like. And Dot, maybe you can go next while people are considering what they might want to share. And Julie, again, I love you so much.
I love you.
I love everybody so much too. It's, yeah, and I do, please speak through your heart. Let's put everyone's voice in the field. You know, Julie, it was so gorgeous, the back to back and your voice over. And when you said we all belong, you know, in the wellness center here in Southwest New Hampshire, there's a sign when you go in that says, "You belong here." And belonging is the sense of belonging is the greatest risk factor for any of us on the planet. We belong here. We belong in community together. We are singing the song lines of love for all of life. And I love biodivinity. Thank you for presencing that, Julie, in the field. And then, who was it who said in the chat, bio-indivisibility? Yeah, beautiful. So such beauty, such grace, such joy in the field. Grateful for all of us holding this together as we are on this 99-day journey of peace through unity toward a thriving world for all of life. Gratitude.
I'll just share that I just want you to put yourself in my shoes for a minute. Could you imagine how it feels to create something out of the love of wanting to create something beautiful that might awaken people's hearts? And then to just suddenly find out that someone as extraordinary as Julie Krull, who stands for the unity consciousness, surprises me moments before to playing these two works that I created so long ago. It's just, may we all feel a sense of connection and purpose to what we came here to do, and to remember that even if it doesn't look like it, we are pulsing. When we're authentic and ourselves and vulnerable, we get the opportunity to remember that we belong. And I didn't need it, but it's sure fun to share it with all of you. It's such a privilege. And I was just feeling that beauty itself is one of the components of the falling in love that Dot, you talked about. And it's really the love that we have of the beauty that enables us to connect and bond to that sense of belonging. So thank you, Julie, for the gift of sharing this work that I labored over and out of love. And just, this has been such a delicious blessing all week long. I'm so grateful.
Julie, I'd love to hear your heart too. I know when you're the one who guides that experience, there's such a beautiful experience that you have, and maybe you can share something with us that you want from that.
Yeah, I thank you. And thank you, Gary, for creating beautiful music and creating beauty in the world with everything you do, and our entire team. And I watched the names coming into the room, and there's so many friends right here. I'm looking at your faces, and I'm looking at some names and smiling at you because you know I know you, and all the friends who've been here all week that we haven't met yet. I just feel this community, and so it was just a beautiful way to bring in that biodiversity by scrolling through and seeing your names and your faces and holding that during the meditation. So I'm just really grateful that you've come into this Zoom room, this convergence room, and that most of you have taken part in the Pulse all week, creating a beautiful energetic continuum. You know, there's just been this continuity through every day. So I'm so grateful that we've really focused on the foundations of life, that really it's almost like amplified the unitive narrative, right? It's amplified our unity conversations. It's amplified World Unity Week and literally leveled it up several what do you call a scale of music? Gary, help. Several octaves. Thank you. I got it myself. It's like amplified World Unity Week, several octaves, by focusing around the foundations of life. And then the conversation has naturally brought us to our unity and the real, what we know, innately what we know, our inherent unity and this nature of reality, that we, mind and consciousness aren't something we have, it's who we are. So I'm just really grateful to you, Teresa, and the Global Coherence Pulse of bringing that in, and just all of you for showing up. It's really been exquisite. And we would love to hear your shares. Just raise your hand, and I would love to hear from this beautiful tapestry as well.
Yeah, it would be wonderful to hear from you, whoever you are.
Christy has her hand up. Let's go ahead and unmute your mic for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello, Christy.
Well,
beloved
hi,
friend.
dear. I love you so much, Gary. And I'm so happy to see the purpose of who you are going out across all the world. I've gotten the great joy of singing with you many times. So it's just very exciting to see this. But gratitude was perfect because I am so overflowed and filled with gratitude. Ben and John and all these amazing people, Julie and Teresa, every dot, all of you that I'm coming to know in this visceral, subtle body energies of oneness. It reminds me, this week reminds me of one of the core sentences that has guided my life in A Course in Miracles. It says, all separation vanishes when we share that which is holy, for holiness is power. And as we share it, it gains in strength. And so what is this holy power? It's this holy power of peace, of love, of joy. And as we share it, it gains in strength. But it's only in the sharing of it that we get to feel this expanded sense of who we are. And it just enlivens us and emboldens us and expands our consciousness. And then all separation vanishes. So thank you for creating the platform where this could manifest in such a glorious and fantastic way. My peace and love to you all. Blessed be.
Thank you, Christy. I think both Grace and Catherine Brewer wanted to speak. Grace, do you want to go first? I think Dawn said you were next in line. Well, let's unmute you. Here you go. Okay.
Overload. Okay. I'm on love overload right now. Just being in this field every day, I just feel more expansive and sharing and flowing with love. But it feels so wonderful. And I just want to say thank you for everyone for all your beautiful love and sharing and compassion. And yeah, this is what's going to change the world. This is what is going to change. So thank you all for showing up with your big hearts open wide and the calm mind. And what we call it is personal heart power. And we're moving into global heart power. So thank you all.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Grace. It's lovely to see you. And I also want to just put a little shout out to the members of the Cultivating Coherence in Community Retreat that's joining Marcy. And I see Monica and so many others that are joining here, and that we brought this power of cultivating greater presence and coherence, resonance into this field, and I can feel it. And I just want to say thank you. And Catherine, let's hear from you next.
Yes, what everyone has said, validate all of that. And I've been thinking about, okay, what is it in what's been transpiring this week in the Global Coherence Pulse? And, the first thing is the biodivinity and the biodiversity, and how each one of you have brought your unique vibrational code of being and shared it without limit. And what that has created, the unity, the oneness, the wholeness that has created. It reminds me of a poem, and the title is It Is in the Breaking Open. And it's like what part of it that's happened to me, it has broken open my heart to a greater level of its potential. And I think it's coming home together. It's what will change, as you just said, Grace, it's what will change humanity. So I thank you, all of you, so much for the effort and the authentic creativity and co-creation that you have allowed yourself to do to bring us this. So thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Beautiful. It's real what we're doing. It's not just like, oh, let's just come together. We're going to do this. And we're kind of saying it's this, but it really is. It's really real. Annabelle, I wonder if you would be willing to share. There's just something on your heart that I've been listening to, and I wonder if I could put you on the spot and if there's something you wanted to share, Annabelle. Well, let me unmute you.
All right. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that's a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I could hide today because and I've had quite a difficult week, and for me, this experience has allowed me to grieve a bit actually for a difficult situation. So I'm actually in quite a tender space, and I was hoping just to hide in that. But thank you for. I sort of thought, yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you presenced that. For some reason, I feel different people when we're on the pulses, and you have been drawing my attention, and I just am feeling like we're all going through so much, and the fact that this space is helping us to be with whatever we're moving through. So thank you for speaking up in your tenderness, because I think we're all feeling into some big tenderness. And if we're not, then we're probably not paying attention right now.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're grieving so much and we're opening to so much. I asked Danalia if she would come on camera, and every day we've been sharing the messages from the listening field that are coming from the nature elders, asking the questions that have been posed every week. And Daniela, since you're here and I can bring you on camera, I'm going to have Kaylin bring up your slides, and perhaps you can share them with us. All right? Would that be nice? Okay. So Kaylin, if you would do that.
Thank you, Teresa. I've really appreciated the biodiversity of voices that we have been welcoming each day. And I just want to say that for myself, being in the listening field at 6 a.m. my time, then in the fireside chat with eco-governance at 9 a.m. and then my time, and then with you here at 2 p.m. has been, it's providing some kind of a framework, energetic framework that's allowing me to show up in a new way. And even the mere fact of having to do it 8 days in a row actually has stretched me after all the prep for the partnership ceremony that happened on Sunday. And then boom, we were right into day after day consulting with the Foundations of Life. So I think that we're all being brought to the edges of what we think is possible that we can do. And then with breath and surrender and teamwork and each other, we're finding that we're expanding and deepening more into the spaces that are unknown and yet are really showing us who we really are. So thank you so much for this opportunity. What you see before you is a message that was received today by Esther Penner. And this is a woman in California who is partnered with the Council of Muir Grove. It's a grove of 12 ancient sequoia trees in California. And this communication that we have between each other, it's very simple. It's very simple and it's very innate because we are biodiverse. And so we can easily connect with these elders and communicate across the heart bond, the coherence that we have here today. So this message was received from Biodiversity. And what the message says is, we are such, oops, let me get my glasses. We are each a holographic expression of the source of all life. As we honor and nurture this expression of wholeness within ourselves, so will it be reflected in our outer worlds. It cannot be otherwise. So thank you, Council of Muir Grove. These trees are also connected with the star beings. So they're bringing energy and wisdom down from off planet as well. And then the second message I received when I consulted with my nature elder. Do we have the second one, Kaylin, with Nokopila? There she is. So she is a 400-year-old banyan tree who lives in Cape Town, South Africa, and we are partnered for life, but also partnered for Unity Through Peace this year. And so after consulting directly with Biodiversity, I went and asked Nokopila heart to heart, how do we restore a right relationship with biodiversity? And I was very surprised what she said. She said, allow yourselves to feel the full diversity of your feelings. This will help facilitate your honoring and right relationship with biodiversity. And so my interpretation of what she meant is something that Gary also touched on. And that is that our aversion to feelings like grief prevents us from fully feeling the effects we have on our relatives. And it also keeps us in a holding place, even in our own evolution, because feeling is one of our human superpowers. And so when we breathe and feel and allow this energy to flow through, we become part of this biodiverse cycle of life, death, and rebirth. So I really heard her in even for myself, just allowing that when these feelings arise, to bless them and to breathe with them and to allow them to move through, therefore becoming a nourishing force for the cycle of life and biodiversity. So thank you very much, Teresa, for giving me time to share these personally with people. And thank you to Nokopila.
Yeah. And let's just stay for a second. So tomorrow is the last listening field of this week's series. And I just want you to let people know about that. And if there's a link to join, or if it's in room 1, just so we know. And also somebody said, send those messages from the elders by email, but here's what's going to happen is that there is a space being created right now on all of our behalf. And things like these messages from the elders and so much more that came through this week will be available there, and a place for us to connect and play over the 99 days. So just everybody know that it might take a couple of days for everything to be, pulled together so that we can play in a graceful way. So Daniela, how can we join you tomorrow?
Thank you. Yes. So we're consulting with the Sacred Web of Life. And if you just simply go to ecorelations.life, it's a landing page, but there you will see the place where you can sign up and receive the Zoom link. No experience is necessary. And we are just simply dropping into this heart bond, and we're going to reach out and ask the Sacred Web of Life how we can restore right relationship with them. I will share with you, it is 9 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And tomorrow being the last day, we thought also it was appropriate that we were going to take half of that time also to reflect on what we have received this week. How have we been changed by the messages from the listening field? So you'll get a chance to participate in that as well. And so please join us.
Great. And let's go back to gallery view. I think, John, if you click gallery view, then that's what's going to be on the recording. And tomorrow was our last pulse of this World Unity Week series. And what we're going to do is, instead of having the pulse at 5 p.m., we're going to do what we did in the opening ceremony, which is include the pulse as part of the continuation ceremony. And it also gives us a little break because John is doing an amazing open space technology tomorrow that ends at 4:30. So we have a little time before the continuation ceremony. So the pulse will be in the continuation ceremony starting at 6 Eastern time, right here in room 1. And John, do you want to say something about your open space? Because it's a beautiful offering for the community.
Yeah. If you haven't done open space, the first thing you know, it's not my open space. By definition, that is the way open space works. It's really a remarkable way for us to, first off, make sure we hear from everybody. So everybody can and nobody has to come together, and we can break out into sessions focusing on really, and this would be a great time. Gary, if you're here, I'd love us to share that beautiful piece that you created with Dot's words and your music, because that's the framing question for the open space. So if Gary, he's still here. Is he still
Yes.
here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
If you could cue that up, I'm going to say a little bit about open space, and I thought we could
You
listen
want me to play it right now?
in like a few minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because then I got to go, but I will play that. I'm so excited. Nobody's heard it yet.
Oh, I know. Here's what I'm thinking. So here's what open space is. I learned this years ago, and actually, we had our whole company use open space to run this model. So you get together without an agenda, but a framing question. And I'm going to share with you the question. It was what came from Dot and her wisdom that's going to be shared in a few minutes when Gary shares this. So you have this framing question without an agenda. And then what happens is that everybody can, and no one has to, put forward a session they want to host. So I've been telling people throughout the 8 days, if you've got a great idea and something you feel deserves that we spend more time focused on, come to open space and offer to host a session. So it works because it's driven by our own passion and responsibility. There's 4 principles and 1 law. So imagine we get together. Now, here's the question. What can happen when we collectively and intentionally place our vast potential, resources, and creativity in the spirit of cooperation and right relationship for 99 days in a shared experience of creating the world we want to live in together? What can happen when we collectively and intentionally place our vast potential, resources, and creativity in the spirit of cooperation and right relationship for 99 days in a shared experience of creating the world we want to live in together? So you may say, wait a minute, I got a session I want to host. And the session is going to be about 45 minutes, an hour. So everybody gets to name the session they want to host. And we set up breakout rooms so people can go into those breakout rooms. And you don't have to be an expert on a topic. You just have to be willing to facilitate the conversation, take notes, and bring us back to us when we come together. So here's the 4 principles in the 1 law. First principle, whoever shows up is the right people. Whenever it starts, it's the right time. Whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. And it's over when it's over. And what's so beautiful about open space is this 1 law that governs it. Now, I call it the law of 2 clicks. It used to be the law of 2 feet. Because the idea is that if you're not getting or receiving value when you're in the session, get up and go to another session. Nobody gets to feel trapped into anything here. It's truly an open space. And I've seen miraculous results happen with hundreds of people together being able to self-organize this way. And some of you may know, okay, all right, Gary, you want to, okay, Gary texting me here.
Hey, I know, but hey, John, I just wanted to acknowledge them, just a little completion on the pulse in case anybody needs to leave and was just kind of waiting for a moment to do that. That we just kind of like put a little bow and say, thank you for joining us today with the pulse. Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was just going to finish and say that we're going to keep this room open because we've got 2 more sessions afterwards. So please close it, but people are welcome to stay. We're not done for the day yet. So go ahead. So
I just want to,
Gary, I can play it. I can't do it.
And we're also planning on playing that tomorrow, and you're planning on playing it tomorrow. So I know it will get a lot of airing. So thank you, Julie. Thank you, Dot. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for a beautiful pulse today. I really appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, everyone. All right. Take it over, John. Do you want to stop the live stream or are you going to keep it going? Because to end the pulse, or
okay, well, let's end the pulse. Okay, well,